In fact, Sheikh Hasina's son spoke to NDTV. Listen in to the details that he had to disclose.
Your mother and former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has been in India for over 24 hours. Reports are suggesting that United Kingdom is yet to take a call on her asylum. What's next for her and the family?
The reports about her requesting asylum are actually incorrect. She has not requested asylum anywhere. So the question of the UK or US not responding yet is not true. The family intends to spend time together now. My mother, was planning to retire after this term anyway. This was going to be her last term. She's 77 years old. And so she is done with politics in Bangladesh.
So you are saying that your mother has not sought any asylum from any country. Then if it's about staying in India for the moment, where is she going to be? Will she be in India? Because again, as I said, there are reports suggesting that United States won't be commenting on Sheikh Hasina's US visa revocation.
There's been no such discussion at all with the US or anyone else.
Okay, and you say that she will be spending the time with the family. So is she retiring from politics?
Yes.
And then she leaves Bangladesh and moves in with her children, all of you in Washington?
No, I'm in Washington. My aunt lives in London. My sister actually lives in Delhi. So we don't know. She might travel between the places.
So what is going to be the future of Awami League?
That I don't know. I'm mostly concerned about the lives of our party members because they are being attacked. Several of our members of parliament have been killed. Almost all our ministers and many MPs' homes have been burnt, including cricketer Mashrafi. And so we are very concerned for their safety. And I would ask the Indian government's help in ensuring their safety to save their lives, because this is not a political movement. I mean, if it was a political movement, if these forces were democratic, then why are they killing people?
Why do you say that this was not a political movement? I'm going to take that question a little bit later, but there are reports also suggesting that former ministers of Sheikh Hasina's cabinet are being stopped from leaving the country. So certainly there is that sense of uncertainty in Awami League and its future.
Yes, this is, partly BNP Jamaat were behind the protests anyway. And so they want to eliminate the Awami League. There are only two political parties in Bangladesh, and BNP Jamaat has even when they were in power last time, they attempted to physically eliminate the Awami League, physically eliminate my mother. There was a massive assassination attempt organized directly from, in fact, the former Prime Minister's son, Tariq Zia, has been convicted on that charge of terrorism and bombing, where 23 people were killed and over 200 injured. So it's no secret that the BNP want to eliminate the Awami League physically, and that is what they're trying to do now.
For a quick update from Ground Zero, we have with us senior journalist from Bangladesh, Muqtadir Rashid Romeo. Thank you so much, Muqtadir, for joining us. Muhammad Yunus now will serve as Bangladesh's interim leader. We know he's called Sheikh Hasina's resignation the country's second liberation day. But Muqtadir, take us through what Mr. Yunus brings to the table.
Mr. Yunus, Muhammad Yunus, what kind of repression he has been facing in the last couple of years. And his office was, locked somewhere. His people were beaten. And
charged in over
publicly
190
harassed.
cases.
Yeah. So it was a different situation for Mr. Yunus. And he always said, look, I'm not going to be political. I'm not an opponent of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. But we have seen in a multiple events that the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, was mocking Mr. Yunus. And the way she used to do that, he was her arch rebel. So I think this is one of the moments when Dr. Yunus, one of the internationally well-known personality, would be the top of the interim government. As you know, we don't have government right at the moment. The country is, right at this point, there's no government. So we must have a government right now to settle down all the crisis. There's a number of crises right at the moment. The law and order situation should be restored. Many people approach me that the security situation across the country are not, is totally vulnerable. And people are now guarding mosque, the mandirs and especially the temples of minorities from any kind of attacks by the miscreants. We are not sure that what's going on because we are basically cut off, not by the transport, we are cut off by the communications. For example, we are cut off. We can't communicate with the government official. We can't communicate with most of the the police officials. As the police officials are yet to join or yet to function in are yet to join their work in many places.
Right.
So it's a different situation. But one of the things I must say that Awami League Secretary General Ubaidul Qadir, who is to say, look, if Awami League fall from the power, that hundreds of thousands of people will be killed. But yet we haven't heard such kind of massacre.
Yes.
We just have heard that the police station were attacked, and many police stations attacked because of the police brutality, and because the senior police leadership, the highly corrupt police leadership, convinced the Prime Minister that the arm or the crackdown on the student could be a solution. And as a result of that,
we are
many
seeing
innocent...
tragic news of over 450 deaths from your country. It's absolutely tragic,
Yeah.
but we will of course revert to you for regular updates. Thank you so much for joining us with that live update from Bangladesh. With that, let's turn our attention now to the United Kingdom. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has promised communities will be safe following a Cobra meeting on Tuesday evening, and said those taking part in the unrest will feel the full force of the law. But Sir Starmer chaired another emergency Cobra meeting on Tuesday evening as police prepare for more far-right riots. In fact, the British Prime Minister told reporters inside Downing Street after the meeting that those involved will actually feel the full force of the law, adding that nobody should be involved themselves in this disorder. But I must mention a horrifying list of 30 targets, including immigration centers, lawyers' offices and charities, has been now shared by the far right for potential further unrest during the course of the day today. Well, thank you so much for investing your time and watching this edition of The World 24/7. We'll keep tracking the latest updates for you. Do stay tuned.
Get the magic of the best working for you now.
Link your payment cards once, collect rewards forever.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. बनेगा स्वस्थ इंडिया, One World Hygiene.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
Though a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient.
A very good morning. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Divya Wadla. We have a whole lot lined up for you, including big relief for homeowners and buyers. We'll get you all the details. But first, the headlines. And we're talking about relief for homeowners and buyers as the centre modifies the long-term capital gains tax. A proposal to revert to 10% LTCG for unlisted assets bought before the 23rd of July this year. From Jantar Mantar to the podium finish in Paris, it is Vinesh Pogart who guarantees India its fourth medal after winning the semi-finals 5-0. She creates history as she is the first Indian woman to reach the finals of the wrestling category in the Olympics. And India loses to Germany to face Spain for hockey. And Bangladesh crisis, and it's the parliament that's dissolved. It's Mohammad Yunus who has been appointed as the head of the interim government. The students say the military-led government is not acceptable. So it is Mohammad Yunus who has now taken charge of the newly formed interim government. Sheikh Hasina is in Delhi, and the Sun says that she hasn't been seeking asylum, whether it's from the United Kingdom or the United States, and she will be retiring from politics. But when it comes to the future of Bangladesh, her Sun says the future is bleak. And it is the monsoon fury that's being felt in Himachal Pradesh. A village in Mandi has been cut off. 9 people have died. 1 continues to be missing. And NDTV travels to the village on foot, reports from Ground Zero. Let's get to your top story, and that's relief for homeowners as centre modifies the long-term capital gains tax. The government has proposed significant relief for individuals who bought houses before the 23rd of July this year by giving them the option to choose between 2 tax rates for long-term capital gains, or the LTCG tax. Now, the budget 2024-25 had proposed to lower the LTCG from 20% to 12.5%, but remove the indexation tax. Now, this is the benefits. The new rates have come into effect from the 23rd of July this year. The indexation benefit allowed taxpayers to compute gains arising out of the sale of capital assets after adjusting for inflation, following concerns and criticism from certain quarters over the budget proposal of the removal of that benefit on the long-term capital gains sale of unlisted assets. Now, the government has decided to offer a choice Two taxpayers in the cases of sale of property acquired before the 23rd of July this year. With the amendments, effectively all properties purchased before the budget presentation date of the 23rd of July 2024 have been grandfathered. In the original proposal, there was no grandfathering for properties bought after the 1st of April 2001. My colleague Sunil Prabhu has the details.
Well, this is a big, huge relief for the real estate and for those people who have properties, middle-class owners. After 23rd of July 2024, this benefit will not be there. But those who have properties before that, they can avail of either of the two facilities. One is the new system of just getting 12.5, or if it benefits them, they can go through the whole scheme of indexation and paying 20%. And they can pay whichever is lower. So that's the benefit that has been given. This is a amendment clause that has been moved. It has to be passed in Parliament. Hopefully tomorrow it is likely to be taken up for debate and discussion and finally passage of the bill. But this is of course a big relief and something that had been a big cause of concern. And now finally the government, as you rightly pointed out, has rolled back on this important policy.
Right, thank you so much, Sunil, for getting us all those details. And switching tracks, it's Nobel Peace Prize laureate Muhammad Yunus, who will now be taking charge of the interim government. He has been named as the chief advisor of Bangladesh's interim government a day after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina resigned and fled the country following a violent crackdown on a student-led uprising. Muhammad Yunus was appointed to the post by the Bangladesh president after holding meetings with student leaders and chiefs of the three military services. Though he spent much of his life